Okay, guys, so today we're talking about things we want to see in Injustice 2 or that we are hoping to see. Obviously, it's a little late for them to change anything at this point, but we're hoping. We got our hopes up.
Just some things we're looking for.
Some little pointers. Because we're big game designers. We've designed massive games before.
Literally every day.
Games have never sold as good as we've sold games.
Yeah.
It's because we don't sell any.
We don't sell games.
We're like golfers. We have a par of 0. And so we're the best golfers mankind has ever seen because we've never golfed.
Yeah.
Exactly how it works. Anyway, so we're looking at the character selection first. And the character selection of the original Injustice was...
It was alright.
Good.
Yeah, I would say it was pretty good for when it launched.
Yeah, for when it launched.
I mean, like, looking at the characters, there's a couple that are kind of just random, that are cool, but
don't need to be back.
But don't need to be back. They could use a refresher. We don't need to see them.
So that's the first thing we want to say real quick, is just characters we don't want coming back. Or that we don't care. We should say we don't care about.
We'd be okay if they weren't in the next game.
If they come back, who cares?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if they're there. So for me, one of them right off the bat is Ares.
Ares for sure. He was a cool idea. I think he's really cool in Injustice, but he didn't really have a huge part in the game at all.
No.
Doesn't need to be back.
No. Another one. You got one here?
To be honest, Bane.
Bane?
He didn't play that well. I didn't enjoy playing with him, and he doesn't really have a huge role in the game or the story, and he's just kind of meh for me. I'd be okay if he's not in the game, and there's plenty of Batman characters to choose from.
I feel that way with Batgirl too.
Yeah,
kind of.
And she's a DLC anyways too.
But more than Batgirl, I mean, I expect Batgirl to come back. More than Batgirl, I wouldn't care if Catwoman was gone.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Because she's also like a different type of character than these. Like she's not someone who could hold their own against Black Adam or Superman or Ares. You know, she's just kind of like shoehorned in there.
She's really good in the Arkham games, but that's kind of where she's
and most
made
of
for Gotham.
And most of the characters in the Arkham games are not super powered.
Exactly. So for sure.
Another one for me at least would maybe be Doomsday. Actually,
Doomsday, I think the only reason I could see him being in there again is because of his presence in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, that's true, and they like to plug their new movies. That was something we said in the other video that we did about this, was that the original Injustice had Man of Steel costumes in it to like coincide with the Man of Steel release. So I can see him being in it. I would not shed a tear if he wasn't.
No, not at all.
I think Flash and Green Arrow are very important. So obviously, wouldn't touch them.
Definitely.
Hawk Girl, I could see being gone.
Killer Frost as well. Could see her not.
I like her a lot, but I could see her not being there.
Yeah, she's a fun character, but not really a huge part as well.
No, I think Lobo will be left because they keep talking about Lobo over and over, so I think he'll be in the game. As far as other characters that I would personally not care if they weren't there, probably Zod. Honestly.
Yeah. I could see them not keeping Zod. Do you think they keep... Because they added Scorpion as a Mortal Kombat kind of nod.
I don't think he'll be in it again.
Do you think they add Sub-Zero this time?
I think they will add someone else. People have talked about Sub-Zero. I would really like that. I actually liked Sub-Zero more than Scorpion, even though I really like Scorpion.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. That's something too that we'll get into in just a minute with our wish list of characters.
Oh yeah.
Which we're gonna hop into right now.
Let's do it. First, okay, one last thing.
Oh.
I would be okay if Solomon Grundy was in the next one.
I would too.
Totally fine.
I hate Solomon.
He was awful. Yeah, so the first one that I would say, for me, well, for both of us that we would like to see is...
Don't drag me into this.
You've been dragged in, bro.
Okay, I'll go with it.
Okay. Alright. Is Robin. I think there's a lot of options with Robin as far as skins go even, so you put Robin in the game, then you can go through all the Robins. You got Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Carrie Kelly, Stephanie Brown,
a lot more.
Dick Grayson. I mean, there's
Wayne.
Damian Wayne. There's a million options to go with there. So I think that would be a really cool skin and character to have in the game.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Even though Nightwing's already in there, I think Robin's a cool piece to have in there as well.
Oh yeah, definitely, and he's definitely someone that you can do all those different skins with that doesn't need to take up a lot of roster spots.
Definitely.
All right, so moving on. This could just be a skin, honestly. But Kyle Rayner, who was like a big Green Lantern in the 2000s, back when I got into the Justice League, who has come back as a big White Lantern character in recent years in the New 52. And honestly, with both Atrocitus and Green Lantern being in the game, I think it would be pretty easy to just swap out, you just palette swap things and you could have a White Lantern as a Green Lantern skin, kind of like they did the Hal Jordan Yellow Lantern. Remember that? In the original game. So that's the next one.
Sweet. And then the next one that we have on the list, I have seen bits and pieces with this character.
Oh, I really like her.
I'm not super familiar with her. I know of her, and I've seen some stuff with her in, I think, a couple movies. But
yeah.
Stargirl
would
be very
Justice
cool.
Society member, Justice League member eventually. She was... I'm trying to remember if she was a legacy hero in the original comics or not, but she was like a big part of Smallville Season 9, too. That's where I first saw her. And then she shows up a lot in Justice League Unlimited. Remember that?
Yeah.
In like various like scenes. I think she got her own episode.
I think once.
Yeah.
I think she got one episode.
A lot of people only got one episode.
Yeah. A lot of one-offs in that
But
show.
thank God for the question in that show. Anyway, though. So the next one is just a skin again. We want to see Wally West's Flash. Out of the Flash. It's an easy, skin character swap thing. It doesn't need to be new moves or anything. He's pretty much got a lot of the same moves, so be pretty easy to implement.
Definitely, yeah, not a big deal, but it'd just be nice to see. Then a big one that I think we both would love to see, and I could totally see being in the game too, with Arkham Knight dropping as well, is Red Hood.
He's awesome.
He's so sick.
Backhand or forehand? A or B? Jensen Ackles doing the voice for that character was phenomenal.
He was really good.
It's phenomenal.
Really good.
And Red Hood's gotten a lot of popularity in recent years. Ever since Under the Red Hood dropped, he had his own New 52 comic series, which was one of the ones to not get canceled ever, which is a big deal, because like half of the New 52 got canned before they hit Rebirth. And he still has an ongoing comic series, so there is a demand for the character. People like him. So I think it would be really cool, especially because he is a playable character in Arkham Knight. He's one of the DLC characters.
Yeah,
so.
And you could easily replace one of the not so popular Batman characters. Well, they're all popular, but not so desired ones from the last game. Put Red Hood in there.
The ones we don't want.
Yeah.
Take them out. If
Get
they're already
Grundy out of there.
If they're already in, take them out. Go pull the game back and remove them.
That's it.
All right, so the next one we got is Etrigan, the demon. There's not a lot to say about the demon, honestly. If you watch Justice League, that's probably, if you watch that as a kid, that's probably the first time you encountered him. Was, one of the Justice League Season 1 arcs, or Season 2, I don't remember, was all about the demon and Morgan and her son. So he's a really cool character. He would definitely fit right in with the cast as, one of those bigger, brooding characters.
Yeah.
Kind of that body type, like you had Doomsday and Bane and a few others in the original.
Lex Luthor even, yeah. Which would be cool. He's not a super well-known character, but he's a cool piece of the DC universe.
Yeah.
So.
And then we have my favorite character of all time. We want to add in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go on, tell him.
Yeah, I think that he would be a huge part, and really, I think, change the game. It'd probably be broken if he was put in there.
Tell them.
I think Harvey Bullock.
Yeah, he would just he could have these donut boxes. That could be his power when you hit B or circle.
Yeah.
Is that he pulls out a box of donuts, he eats 2 of them, and then he rolls them at his enemies.
And it makes them kind of slip and fall, or eat them and get indigestion.
Right, exactly. And when they try to punch him, he's really armored because of the fat. He can just kind of take the shock.
Very big gut. Not to mention, he smokes a lot of cigars, so he could give them secondhand smoke.
And we're not fat shaming here. I'm kind of a chunky guy, so.
Yeah, no, it's
I idolize him.
Harvey Bullock's the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
But in all reality, please don't put him in the game.
He's the worst
Don't
person.
include him ever,
I
please.
beg you.
All right, so Miss Martian, that was one that I kind of advocated for probably a little more, because I think I know the character a little more. She was kind of I mean, I remember her most from Young Justice as being like the Martian Manhunter's sidekick, kind of.
She was cool in Young Justice, and she was an
cool.
interesting character. She was one of the main characters. She's not super well known like some of the characters on here, but just kind of a cool thing, and she would match up well with Martian Manhunter, so it could be cool.
Or like some of the other sidekicks. And honestly, she would also help thin out the amount of Superman and Batman roster take-ups.
Absolutely. Mix it up a little bit.
Because you and I looked at it, and Batman took up 10 slots out of the original 30. Like, if you have all the DLC.
Yep.
And then Superman took up another 4 or 5, like his characters. So by the time you were done, it was like 14 characters were just Batman, Superman characters.
Almost half of the entire roster.
Which is unnecessary.
Yeah. It's a lot. And I get it, Batman. I love Batman more than any other, character, period. But
I like him when he's portrayed good.
And yeah,
I go back and forth on him.
Yeah,
but I thought he was good in that game.
But I think you got to mix it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There's some incredible characters that should be there, but there's some that shouldn't.
And this is one that you know more than me because you've watched Arrow a lot and you really liked... I think that's the first time... No, you saw her in Justice League Unlimited, right?
Yep.
And then came across her in Arrow.
And in Arrow, Black Canary. And she's had a very, very prominent role in the series as a whole. A lot of fans of Arrow really like Black Canary. There's been some different versions even in the show.
Like White Canary?
No.
I don't know who that is.
No, there wasn't one.
I just saw a Funko Pop.
Oh, there's a legitimate one?
Oh, yeah, there actually is a black and white Canary Funko Pop. 2 different ones. But that's off topic.
Oh, yeah, but yeah.
Gotta include Funko Pops in every video.
Every single video. Just
Guys, we're here today to talk about the inauguration and Funko Pops.
But yeah, anyways, Black Canary is a really cool character. And I think she'd fit right in with Green Arrow and those types of characters. The Batmans, I think, be a great addition to this roster.
Yeah, and she's definitely that fast... You know what I mean? Less strength and more like fast, like hit him quick.
Oh yeah,
type character.
She could replace Catwoman. To be honest,
please
I'd be
just
totally
do it.
okay
I don't like Catwoman that much in that game. All right, so moving on. So this is a skin. By the way, is a good thing to start out by saying. I don't want a full another character.
No,
but record dialogue for this and a skin because that's what they did for Jon Stewart's Green Lantern.
And the Arrow from the show Arrow.
Yeah, you're right. The one who talks like this,
yeah.
Despite who he is. Yeah. He's like, I really have to take a dump right now. What? So this character is Bizarro. I would love to see a Superman skin for Bizarro because we saw Man of Steel, we saw Original, we saw the alternate Superman from the alternate reality, the main villain of the game, and we also saw Cyborg Superman in the previous one, all his skins. Even Godfall, he got a lot of skins. I think he had like 6 or 7 skins by the end. Which, by the way, why'd the DLC characters only get 1 skin?
True.
That's dumb. But anyway, a Bizarro skin would be great. If he like came in and he was like, "Me ready hurt you lots," or something like that. Just something really dumb that Bizarro would say, or like, "I here to hurt you by helping you." You know, he says like he's just like really confused and dumb because Bizarro world everything's opposite. Yeah. So like even though he's a villain in the good world, he's like considered a hero on his world.
Just because he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, so like I would love to see that. Like if he just comes in, says some stupid dialogue, has like some like quips and stuff, and then like white, like really pale white skin, unkept hair, the backwards purple S and like purplish costume, and you're done. It wouldn't be that hard to do.
Oh no, for sure.
But don't take up a whole slot for Bizarro.
No, just a skin, please. Please, just a skin. And then some of these are just kind of like optimistic. Maybe there's a chance.
Well, yeah, because especially a character like this or Red Hood, it's like they got enough limelight in the recent Arkham series.
Right.
This character was in like over half the game.
He was a big part of it, and that's Mr. Freeze. Yeah. Victor Freeze, I think he'd be really cool. He is more combat based than a lot of the Batman characters.
Yeah, because I wanted to include Scarecrow, but you made the good point to me that he's not a fighter at all.
No.
He would be like a sneak up on you, get you with a syringe guy, which would not work in this game.
Which sounds so creepy when you say it. Did you want to talk about the next one? I know generally who this is.
Starfire. I love Starfire. Okay. I just wanted to jump right in there.
No build up.
So there was like a lot of controversy with this character for being like over sexualized in the Red Hood and the Outlaws comic series. I actually really liked her in that series. I liked her before that in the Teen Titans animated show. There's different portrayals of her. She got her own New 52 series after a while when Red Hood and the Outlaws became Red Hood and Arsenal. It like transitioned to a new title. So there has been demand for this character in the past, in like even getting her own solo line for a while. I don't think it would be out of the question, but this is, like you said, an optimistic. Like, we don't expect these final few characters, but it would be awesome to see them.
Yeah.
So that's the next one that I really don't expect to be in here, but I would love. Go for it.
For sure. And I honestly, this was yours too, Static.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even really know who this is.
You don't know who Static Shock is?
No, dude.
Dude, Static Shock was one of the things that got me into superheroes. Static is an awesome hero. He's a black urban youth hero, basically, who like lives in like a really crappy part of town. He has like a really good backstory. Like, his mom died, and like he lives with his dad and sister, and like he's not really a dark character, but he's more of this like optimistic young superhero who's like learning how to do it. He was shown a lot more in the animated DC universe than the normal one, but he does exist in the normal DC universe.
That sounds awesome. And then the last character that we had on our specifically DC list was Killer Croc. And I think a big part of this for me...
The fat one.
Not the fat one.
From Night.
No, the good one from Asylum. Why did he just get like a beer gut out of nowhere, by the way? But anyways, Killer Croc, because the last time I saw him in Suicide Squad, it was so annoying. He was done so badly in Suicide Squad. It was just terrible. He was not portrayed well at all. He was making terrible jokes.
I'm beautiful.
I hated that. He was so bad. It was. I didn't like him in that.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of racist.
Yeah.
I know I should, like, I'm not trying to throw an allegation and say, like, the character was racist, but it felt racist to me. Like, it felt like a caricature of, like, a black person. Like, they were, like, making fun of it. To me.
Yeah, that's what it felt like at times.
I'm not saying it was like, oh man, that offended me, but it was more like, why? You know what I mean?
Like, why? That's not even the character.
It felt like a character written by like a middle-aged white guy trying to relate to a different culture that like couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That's the way I felt about the Turtles in those like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. It was like felt like they were trying to relate to something, but came off like really kind of like jerks.
It's like dumb.
Yeah.
Like just stupid.
It just came across really dumb. So like not that version.
No. Just
I wouldn't mind seeing a skin of that though, with the same voice.
Yeah, just maybe, not as dumb.
But Suicide Squad was a bad movie. Sorry.
No.
I mean, I still love you if you liked it, but I did not like it. Anyway, so now we're on to a shorter list real quick, and then we're going to be done here, which is the guest character list. And these are characters that we've never seen in the game before, just like the others, but that are also not in mainstream DC comics, so they wouldn't likely be in, but, we got Scorpion the first time. So why don't you launch it?
Yeah, so the first one is Scorpion's counterpart, Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
I think that only makes sense at this point for him to come in.
And he showed up in the intro for Scorpion. In the original.
Right,
he's about to kill Sub-Zero.
So maybe they flip the script on this one and he's about to kill Scorpion in this one, and then he comes in. And I think that only makes sense. I think that one's probably one of the more likely ones on our list.
I do too.
Just because they put Scorpion in, they like to give their nods to Mortal Kombat, and I think they'll do it again with Sub-Zero.
Yeah, and hopefully they won't do it again with Scorpion.
Yeah, they don't need to.
He was good enough in the first one.
Yeah.
And then mine is actually Spawn. Spawn is a big character from Image Comics that I would love to see. I don't expect to see him at all, but it would be really cool. He showed up in, what game was it? It was Soul Calibur 2, I think, that he showed up as a guest character in one time. So, I know the guys over at Image are not against, letting people use him. I think they get a little bit of royalty when you do that with their character, but they're not like... It's not like a Marvel character where you'd never see them in this game.
Right.
So I would expect it more than that, but I'm not at all expecting it. So one of my favorite comics from all time is actually Watchmen. And I would love to see either Rorschach or Dr. Manhattan show up in this game. And that's like a huge, logic jump to be like, well, why would they be in it? They've never been in DC mainstream comics. But here's the thing. The Rebirth arc that they've been doing like this whole last year with DC Rebirth is they've been pushing the Watchmen again. Because you have Batman finding the comedian's pin in the Batcave, and then a bunch of references to Dr. Manhattan throughout the whole last year of DC Comics. So I feel like if they want to plug their Rebirth arc and also like access like some less known characters or characters that were not used nearly as much, the Watchmen cast would be really good for that. And honestly, I'm biased. Rorschach is like my favorite. He's one of my favorite comic characters ever. And I love Dr. Manhattan too. He'd certainly be someone who could stand up to Superman, which is not something we saw in the original game. The only guy who could stand up to Superman was Superman in the original.
In alternate reality, Superman.
Yeah, so if you have something like Dr. Manhattan come in to fight Superman, that'd be just amazing. I'd love that.
Crazy.
Yeah. And anyway, guys, thanks a lot for checking out the video. We love you. If you liked it, please give it a like. Are there characters you would like to see in Injustice 2? Don't say my mom. She's already going to be in the game, you jerk. We already worked something out. We'll see you later.